was I got my iPad. I'm gonna make a video about it later on, but yay! So this happened right after SNU happened, and since then my whole productivity system has been based on it. I am literally not joking. In my first video, a lot of you asked me how I manage my academics and extracurricular activities all at the same time, and this video is going to be all about productivity and how I manage my life literally on my iPad with just a few apps and juggle everything. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, first of all, welcome to my brain, where I have like 20 something tabs open, and it used to be so overwhelming, but then I ran into this magical app and now I have all my open tabs organized in one workspace, and that is called Notion. So welcome to my Notion. So this isn't obviously how Notion looks like when you first open it. You are given some sort of a blank canvas and you organize your whole life in here according to your wish. I call my Notion my life in a journal. I know it's all overwhelming now to hear all of this if you're not familiar with Notion already, which is why I plan to give you a whole Notion tour in another video. But for now, let's just stick to how I organize my life in here. I have a few sections in here like academia, studio, entertainment, wishlist, my diary, and my library. First of all, let me show you how I manage my studies in this app, in my academia section. So when I first open my academia section, I have all my subjects organized in here. I also make my study plans in here. But first, let me show you how I do my actual note taking and studying in this app. Guys, you kind of have to bear with me with this one. So whenever you're studying and you're memorizing something, like looking at your book where the answer and the questions are all there, so you're like trying to memorize it, right? So when you try to test yourself that, oh, do I remember this thing, but the book is right open in front of you with all the answers, and you're testing yourself like looking right at the study material, whether it's your computer or your book, you grow kind of like a fake sense of confidence. It's, oh, I know all of the answers, but no, you don't. You just have all the answers right in front of you. To solve this problem, this is what I use, and I'm gonna explain this to you right now. So this process is called active recall. So instead of like making conventional notes that you are like studying a line and then writing the same line in your notebook, instead of making those kind of notes where you are not really testing yourself, so you don't really know how much you have learned this topic, I choose this kind of method, this active recall method, where I have all the questions. Whenever I study a topic, I make questions. I make hundreds and thousands of questions on that topic. Like I study a line, then I make a question about it. So whenever I do that, there are kind of this arrow marked toggle bars. Whenever I click on it, these are like the sub questions from the main topic. For example, I click on isoelectric pH, then it shows me that I have to know the definition and the importance of it. So I ask myself, do I know the answers to these questions? So this is how I do with every subject. The red marked questions are the most important ones. For example, see, I click on the toggle bar of this one, and like so many questions comes up. I have to test myself that, do I remember the specific gravity, do I remember the pH, reaction, volume, viscosity. This is how I really make my main notes. I just ask myself questions, and the rest of the things are already in the book. So yeah, this is how I do. It actually helps me a lot. I test myself. I do it with every subject and literally every topic and every subtopic. This is really helpful. Now I'm gonna show you how I actually do it. So this is like an example that I have to know that do I remember the tracheoesophageal fistula. So this is me writing the question. After that, I kind of click on the toggle bar. Here is the plus sign. I click on the toggle bar to see and write more questions on this topic, the tracheoesophageal fistula. I write more questions regarding this topic so that I can test myself on that. And this is basically how I make my notes other than the conventional method of note taking in this app. I hope you really like this method. Moving on, I'm gonna show you how I take my study plans and make my study plans, in which I am showing you right now. So what I do is I kind of schedule all my study topics in this calendar kind of format against the subjects. Like I put tabs on which subjects I have to study and which chapters I have to study along with the dates. So it is kind of like in a calendar format but more organized. For example, if I want to see what's my schedule for biochemistry and anatomy only, then it filters through and gives me schedule for just that. You can filter through your subjects and your projects. It's so freaking convenient, honestly. So yeah, if you just unclick the boxes, then it goes back and gives you the schedule for the whole subject. I know it's pretty confusing right now, but I'll explain it to you and you'll see how amazing it is. For example, if I click on a chapter on my schedule, which is in my calendar, it takes me through the notes of my chapter on that topic, which is so convenient. Like it's all so linked together. If I click on a topic on the calendar, it just takes me back to my notes. I don't have to, like run around in different apps. It just works like that, and I put all my important topics in here. Let me show you an example on how I put my schedule in here. For example, I'm writing like a topic that I have to go through. So yeah, I'm writing here like a totally new section. Then it takes me back to my study plan, and it's here. Now I have to edit it and put it according to my categories, like which subject it is. So I click on biochemistry. So I click on it and it creates like a tag, and then I click on like the date I have to study this, and so it's like it's pre-planned and it's on the calendar. So I can create like the span of the dates, like I have to study it for 2 days, so it creates like a range of time. Now let me show you the best part. You can like rank on how well you have studied the chapter, like on a scale of 1 to 5. For example, if I give it a 3, then it gives like this kind of a bar that shows that, oh, like it's like a visual representation of how well you have studied it or not. Funnily enough, I also keep my wish list in my Notion. For example, I make like different sections and what things that I want to buy. Oh, my internet friends, if you can see my wish list, please buy me those. Anyways, whenever I do buy one of these things, I just click off the boxes. I did buy a lot of things from my list from the time that I'm editing right now. The major one is red hair color. I did buy it. I have red hair now. Yay! Another part of my life in a journal is my YouTube studio. I call it the studio, where I have all the directories of my YouTube studio, Pinterest, and all of the ideas that I have for making new videos. If you can see this list, you can see that I have a lot of videos coming up, so stay tuned for that. Next up, we've got entertainment section. Anyone who knows me that I love series. I'm a huge TV series and movie freak. So I arrange all my series and movie genres and everything in here. I'm not gonna give you a whole tour, but here it is, kind of like a kind of give you a glimpse of it. For example, here is my series section, and I have my favorite character in here, Chandler Bing, Shenandoah Bong, and we also have this code that series is better than reality, because yes, escaping from reality is what we're going for. Yay! Anyways, moving on, I'm kind of going to give you a short little tour in my series section, I guess. So let's go. Here is kind of like the whole list of all the TV series that I've watched, and you can see that it's pretty long. Like up until now, it's 70 and the list keeps going on. So how this works is whenever I watch a series, I kind of like log it in here. For example, like I have listed all the series in here that I've watched. This row is for all the genres, and this is for like the status of the series, that if I've watched it, if I've rewatched it, or I'm watching it, or will I never watch it and won't finish, something like this. I put tags. For example, this series Insatiable, I'm gonna put a tag in front of you, like, see, I have already given tag that watched and won't finish. I'm adding another tag that would never recommend, and this creates a whole new tag for this series that would never recommend. You know what? Let's put it under red color. We can change the color as well. And we are gonna put it on red because oh my god, was that series so horrible. So yeah, we've put on tag. In this way, I actually organize my series. For example, for Rick and Morty, we are gonna add comedy under the genre section. So yeah, in this way, I can actually like visualize all of my series that I've watched and thing. I don't know if it's fruitful to you, but I want my life organized like this. Even my entertainment section, this is kind of like gives me a fake sense of control over my life or something. I don't know, but it works just fine for me. So yeah, and I also do this with my movie section as well. So yeah, the next app that I'm going to show you guys is Collanote. It's one of my favorite apps in all of these apps that I'm showing you, because I can take my very pretty aesthetic notes in this app. I can, it's those Pinteresty type of notes that you see, the digital notes. I can usually make it right in here. I do not really prefer making this kind of notes, honestly, because it's really time consuming, but it really works in some cases. So then I kind of like make those fancy kind of notes when I need them, but for most part I kind of try to stick to the method that I have shown you in Notion. But other than that, it kind of really works really well for notes that I really want to take in this kind of manner. For example, like figures and class notes and lecture notes, I kind of take it this way. Yeah, I kind of like take my notes and my iPad to the lecture class and kind of take the notes there with my iPad. Here are some of the few very examples that I am showing you of my online and digital notes that I kind of take. I kind of really make my, like diagram and figure notes in my iPad with colors and everything. It looks so fancy and it's so very helpful. And it's also very helpful when I'm kind of taking notes right in class and like listening to the lecturer or the professor, and I'm taking my notes. I also kind of import my books in my iPad and then in this app, and then I kind of highlight the important parts and kind of like make the whole notes in here by using my iPad and this app. This kind of really works really well for me. I am seriously amazed by how many colors this app has, and those are so pretty. I take so many pretty notes right in the book just by importing it in this app. And this is very amazing that this app is free, unlike other note-taking apps that I see like GoodNotes or Notability and all of those. I kind of like mark my questions or write different questions in this app, and this just works really well for me because I do not have to make separate notes where I have to handwrite everything. So yeah, this app is like a lifesaver for me, honestly. If there is any iPad note-taking app that I would recommend, this definitely would be it. It's Collanote, and I'm literally in love with it. The next app that I'm going to show you is called Structured, and it is one of my favorite app, but you have to know something before I get into the details of this. So the first key to productivity is to knowing that where you are spending your hours on, and that is what I call make yourself accountable for the hours that you spend. So what I kind of do is before the actual day or the early in the morning, I kind of plan my day and I make all the hours, like accountable for the time that I'm spending it on. For example, like I usually wake up at 4 in the morning whenever I am trying to stick to my late night schedule. I kind of have both. I'm both an early bird and a night owl. So you can like have a schedule and you can kind of like create subtasks. I'm gonna show you this right now. For example, I'm trying to schedule my day for today, which is I'm gonna film this video. I can put it under any kind of icon. This app is, I don't know, this app is very intelligent and on its own. Then I kind of create the timeline for when I'm going to film and for how long I'm gonna film, and I can choose the time and like the total time period that I'm gonna spend my time on. Then I kind of choose the color of my task. Here I am selecting the color of my task. My favorite color is purple, so I kind of go with it. Then I also give myself alerts or notifications for the task, and I also add subtasks to my task. So the main task is like filming the video, right? But I do have like subtasks, like I have to film Notion first, then I have to feel structured first, then I have to do a voiceover, and so on. This is how I create a task, and it is put under the timeline, the 24-hour clock. And I also add all my mini tasks under it. I can see it. That way, whenever whichever task I'm doing, I kind of like add the task in the 24-hour clock scheme so that I do not miss out on any. I have already, like pre-saved tasks, which I usually do more often. Those are like pre-saved already. For example, look under the section workout. I have like arm workout, planks, cardio, and all of those under the subsection. So it's really easy for me to like click off those and like have a final fulfilled task. In this way, I can, actually schedule my whole day, and it is very convenient, and I hold myself accountable whenever I see that I've been wasting my time a lot. Then I kind of, like try to not do it the next day. It's not like I have to do it or like I do it strictly every day, but I do try to stick to it, especially on days where I have like a hard schedule time already. For example, look in here. So whenever I haven't scheduled anything, it shows that like recharge the batteries, like I have like taken a break from scheduling my day, so it just writes recharged my batteries. I kind of like it. The whole color scheme of this app is so amazing. I really love this app. Another app that I kind of use, which is similar to Structured, is called Todoist. I think you guys are really familiar with this app. If you're not, that's okay. This is kind of like a productivity app as well, which I really like. But you can also add subtasks and select your time and add notifications and all of that in this app as well. But what you can do extra in this app is you can kind of like select priority list and kind of like plan ahead of like months ahead or like weeks ahead of your schedule in this app, which is amazing. And I really do use this app a lot whenever I am planning my studies mostly, and not the other aspects of my day, mostly my studies. Look at me here. I am kind of selecting my priority in my task. Like if I schedule it priority 1, then it kind of goes on top of my task list, and then there is priority 2, priority 3. This is how it works. It's very convenient. You can also use it if you don't want to use Structured. So yeah, this is a very helpful app as well that I use really often. The next app that I want to show you guys is called Habit. I have it locked out so that I don't really want people to see it. But yeah, I track my habits in here. You can have a weekly log of all the habits that you've tracked. Now, let me show you a day that I have not tracked yet so that you kind of get the idea. Here are where you can like keep a monthly log of all the habits and kind of keep a track. For example, I have here call parents, and I have a limit that I have to do it twice a day. So when I kind of do this, it on when I kind of swipe it, it shows me half if I've done it once. Let me show you another example. Like, I am very bad at keeping track of like my drinking water habits. I have a very bad habit of not drinking water the whole day, so I kind of have to keep track of that. So when I'm trying to like swipe through the log, the meter kind of like increases till it reaches like 2000 milliliters, and that way I can keep a track, and it kind of gives a sound, and it's like a victory sound. I love it a lot. Another example is I have to do my arm workout thrice a day. So whenever I swipe it, like I have to swipe it 3 times to have it on full log. I really love this app because of all the colors and like the color scheme and everything. And I have tried a lot of habit tracker apps, but I love this a lot. Let me show you an example of making a habit tracker like right with you. For example, let's say I want to do a tracking of stretching. I'm gonna write a note in here that please try to maintain this, you will love the results. So I'm trying to write this note in here so that whenever I have the notification, I'll get reminded that yeah, you really wanted to do this because you love the results. Yeah, I can also change the colors. I really love this app. I'm telling you, this is the first habit tracker app that I think I really loved. So yeah, I can choose my goal, like how many times or how many minutes I want to do this a day or a week or per month. I have set it for 15 minutes per day. I can also select the time, and according to it, they're gonna send me notifications and alarms, which is amazing. So I have it set for 6 a.m. because I really have to do wake up before that for my classes. So yeah, I have a starting and end date. I still don't have an end date because I really want to continue doing this. So yeah, in this way I have a 15-minute cycle of stretching, which is amazing. So this is basically how I plan on tracking my habits this year as well. I really love this app. I hope you guys do too. And the next app that I want to show you guys is called Pencil Planner. This app is pretty much self-explanatory. I have my calendar in here, and I can doodle and write all of my plannings and everything in here. In case you're wondering right now, this is the Apple Pencil that I use on. This is 2nd generation Apple Pencil. If I tap on it twice, then the eraser comes up automatically and I can like erase the writing. But if I tap it twice again, then the pencil comes up again. It's so handy. I love it. Anyways, I can also use highlighter in here in my calendar to highlight more important dates and make all of the plans. The time that I was making the video, my professional exam was starting, which was so scary, so I highlighted it. I don't think you can see it here, but yeah, this is the pencil planner that I use. The next app is called Journey. It's, of course, you can understand that it's a journal app. I can't show you the password, so I'm gonna skip forward. But when you open it, this is the kind of interface that you get. You can create a whole log of your life. Because I have really short-term memory. I have a memory of a goldfish, so I kind of like write every day in here. I kind of put a log. At least I write summary of the day that I have spent, so that when I look back, it's really amazing. Because whenever I look back and I see that how much of hard time that I have spent, and I was stronger even then, so it kind of really boosts my confidence, and I kind of like love it. You can also add like photos and different files or videos in here. Like I'm gonna show you here, you can add like drawing file, photos, live files, and your voice as well. It's amazing. This is a personal opinion, but I really think everyone should kind of keep a journal to reflect on their lives. So this is what I do. So this is the end of the video. I hope you guys liked it. Late Happy New Year, and see you soon.